Last year, a new scholarship contest was announced by filmmaker Mathew Embry called Energy Creates. Energy Creates was launched to challenge Canadian youth ages 15 to 25 to think about how energy shapes our lives, pumps up the economy, and empowers our country on the global stage. Five Energy Creates contest winners will each receive a full scholarship of up to $100,000 for their post secondary studies. And the man behind the contest, Mathew Embry, joins us now in studio to discuss. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, I briefly explained what Energy Creates is all about, but would you mind further explaining it for the viewers?
Sure. So we had a nationwide contest called Energy Creates. And what would happen is students had to go to energycreates.com. And there they had to view a documentary, pass a quiz, and then ultimately they had to upload their own creative work on their perspective of the impact of the Canadian energy sector. So they could create a poem or a short film or a sculpture even. We went as far as people could do hair designs. We wanted to include all students across Canada to be able to compete and to really critically think about the importance of the Canadian energy sector nationally and globally.
So, I want to talk about some of the submissions you received because you've just listed some very creative pieces. Could you actually just explain what sort of work you were given, and was there a lot of interest from young Canadians?
Yeah, the interest was significant. I mean, we had, oh wow, tens of thousands, over 100,000 of people visited the website. We had over 10,000 people actually enrolled in the program, and then we had all these incredible submissions. I mean, the goal of Energy Creates is what we're striving for is a balanced conversation about the Canadian energy sector with young people and across Canada. And so we hope the work would reflect that, and it did. I mean, the level of creativity, the thought that went into these works, whether it's a painting, short stories, the films we got, they were just incredible. And we are looking forward to showcasing that work when the contest wraps up.
And are you allowed to share with us some of the most creative ones that you received, or are we going to hold off and wait until the contest
You
is
know, we
here?
had these, there was this one comic book that was just unbelievable.
Wow.
And as well, there were things from young people that, I don't necessarily, I'm almost 50. So things, in the TikTok space, artistic work that can be put on social media platforms that are, for younger generations, we got those too. And so we took all of these things, we've put it together. We have an incredible group of judges who are now going through the top 50.
And why is it that you decided to use artistic work to best showcase this contest? Is there a specific reason? Is it because it's younger Canadians and you think that that might make them more interested? I'm very curious. It's interesting.
Well, from my perspective as a filmmaker, when someone, whether it's a young person or anybody really, engages in a creative work, they really have to think critically.
Mhm.
They really have to put their thoughts and then they're expressing it somehow to other people. So it was an exercise that I wanted young people to engage in subject matter and material that can be sometimes maybe considered boring or dull or maybe heavily politicized. I wanted to take those things away and inject creativity into it and allow students to showcase what they thought. And we had no parameters in regards to what ideas people wanted to talk about.
Do you mind breaking down some of the rules for young Canadians when they were entering the contest?
Yeah, I mean, so the rules were pretty simple. You had to be between 15 and 25, and you had to have either aspirations to be going to or already going to school.
Okay.
And that or post-secondary education. And this was the point. And then when it came to the parameters around what kind of creative work we were open to, we were willing to just open it all up. So for whatever students wanted to do, we were pretty open to it.
Now, I know myself and the rest of the audience is super excited to hear the contest winners. Can you share with us when that will be announced or a little?
Yeah, that's fine. So right now the submissions are in the judging process.
Yep.
I mean, this is a life-changing scholarship for people.
Yeah.
They're going to win up to $100,000 for their tuition, and we're hoping to have this in the early spring. We'll be announcing the winners exclusively at the beginning of this on the news forum on an awards show. So really excited about that, and we're going to go out of our way to make sure that these students and their work is showcased across Canada and around the world.
Now, we do just have about 30 seconds left, but how hard has the judging process been? You've shared that been some amazing work, and Are you having a hard time picking winners?
Yeah, I mean, I personally reviewed it all,
Yeah.
and because I wanted to see what came in, and I was stunned by some of the work. There were so many times that I just couldn't believe the caliber and the thought that went into the projects. The students had about 5 or 6 months to be able to do it, but it was absolutely incredible. And to get it down to the top 50, I mean, that was a process in itself. But now we have a group of judges, so our work is done, and the judges now take those top 50 and they're going to get it down to the top 5 winners.
Matthew, thank you so much for the time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.